All right, guys, let's take a look at the one-shot rising and one-shot falling instruction. Now, the one-shot rising is almost identical to the ONS instruction that we looked at before. You can see here that if I'm closing a switch, then I'm transitioning from a 0 to a 1. And then when I'm opening a switch, then I'm transitioning from a 1 back to a 0. The transition from a 0 to 1 is called the positive signal edge. We can also see that here. We've got a pallet going by. We've got a sensor that's here. And as the pallet blocks the light from the sensor, then the sensor goes true. So it changes from a 0 to a 1. So that would be an example where we're seeing that transition from a 0 to a 1. We're seeing the positive signal edge. Okay, for that one, the one-shot rising is going to trigger on that rising positive signal edge. Okay, if we think of a push button, and we have closed that switch, and then we open it, well, then we're transitioning from a 1 back to a 0. The other example would be like a pallet going by, so a completely separate sensor. Pallet's going by, and you can see here that as the pallet is in front of the sensor light is blocked. It's been a 1 because the light was blocked there. And then as soon as the pallet passes, it transitions from a 1 back to a 0, right? Similar to us letting go of a push button. Okay, that would be the negative signal edge. And the instruction that looks for that transition from 1 back to a 0 is going to be the OSF, or the one-shot falling there. Okay, so we're going to create a PLC program. I've created that program right here. So I'm doing this video a little bit backwards. I'm going to show you the end product. I'm going to show you how it works. And then I'm going to build it up for you so you can see how to put everything in here step by step here. But some people are just interested in seeing what an OSR is, what an OSF is, an example program, and then they move on with their lives. But let's see. Okay, so let's take a look at this program, guys. This one, I'm going to zoom in a bit. I've got this last rung here, so if you want to take a screenshot here, I've got a reset push button resetting the counter. I'm going to zoom in just a touch so we can see everything. There we go. Okay, so this program is just, we have this sensor as an entry, right? So that would be this sensor right here. And as soon as the pallet comes by, then it's going to block that light. And for me, I'm saying that when the light is blocked on that sensor, it transitions from a 0 to a 1. So when this sensor entry goes true, then the OSR, the one-shot rising, which triggers on that positive signal edge, transferring from 0 to 1, this guy will go true. We'll see that we'll need to create both a storage bit and an output bit for the OSR and the OSF. So if you stick with me, I'm going to walk you through how to create an array for both the ONS storage elements and the ONS output elements. Okay, so I have two elements here. Think of those as just bits of information that I can make use of for the storage bit and then the output bit. So once this transitions from a 0 to a 1, this will be true, the output will be true, which will turn this on, or this will be true, looking for a 1, this will be a 1. So that will cause our counter, our up counter, to increment. I've got a preset value of 4, so I'm just saying that on the conveyor there's room enough for 4 of these pallets there. Okay. If the value is anywhere greater than 0, then we're going to keep the conveyor motor on. If there's no boxes or pallets on the conveyor, then there's no reason for the conveyor to be continuously running there. Okay, then I've got the sensor exit. So to keep track of how many pallets are actually on the conveyor, I'm going to have an up-down counter. So in order to keep track of the pallets that are leaving, I don't want to catch it on the beginning part of the pallet. I want to catch it on the back end of the pallet. So as the pallet is passed through, I want to catch that transition from a 1 back to a 0. I want to catch the negative signal edge. Okay, in order to do that, I've got a separate sensor here at the back end or the exit of my conveyor. I've addressed that to local 1 input data.2, and that's going to go to an OSF, right? The OSF, or one-shot falling, triggers on the negative or falling signal edge. So it triggers on that transition from a 1 back to a 0, right? So the pallet goes by, and then it's no longer blocking the light, and it goes from a 1 in the memory back down to a 0 there. Okay, this sensor exit will have to go true and then false, right? So it'll have to be true and then false. So we're looking for that transition on the false part there, or the negative signal edge. So once this goes true and then false, then the OSF output bit will be true. That's seen right here. So we have another element here from our ONS output array tied in here, and that's going to go to a countdown. You can see that I've addressed these guys the same, entry conveyor and entry conveyor. So essentially what I've created is an up-down counter using the same tag here on both the up counter and the down counter. As soon as I put this in when we're building it up, you'll see that the preset goes right to 4 because they're essentially the same tag there. Okay, down here on rung 4, I've got ONS output 0 and ONS output 1, and we're going to move our accumulated value. So on our counter, we have the accumulated value, and we're going to move that to a new variable called pallet entry count. So we haven't talked about the move instruction. We're going to go over that in much more detail later on. But essentially, we're moving data from the source to the destination. Okay, we're going to have to create that variable. And then down here, we're going to make use of a greater than. Again, we haven't made use of those guys before, the compare instructions. We're going to make use of a greater than instruction. And as long as that pallet entry count is greater than 0, then we're going to turn on the conveyor motor. As soon as there's no pallets on the conveyor, there's no reason for it to be running there. And then if anything goes wrong, we have a reset push button here that's going to reset our entire counter. Okay, I'm already online here, so let's walk through the logic here, guys. So we have our pallet coming through. That one is going to trip this sensor right here, so we'll do that now. And you can see that at that point, the storage bit has gone true, and the accumulated value of my count up went to a 1. The output bit went true, but it went true so fast that we weren't able to see it. Okay, I'm going to now take this guy and transition it from a 1 back to a 0. So I'm going to open that switch, and you can see that nothing changes on the OSR and nothing changes on my accumulated value. Once this goes true once again, then the storage bit and the output bit will go true. We won't be able to see it because it'll be so fast, but as soon as this goes true, then the accumulated value will increment by 1. So I'll do that once again. So now we're at 2, nothing again. Go to the transition here again from a 0 to a 1 by closing that switch, and we should increment by 1 more. Beautiful. And then we'll get to 4, and we can see now that our preset is equal to our accumulated value. Our done bit has now set. Variation on this, if you wanted to, you could have the conveyor motor running only between 0 and 4. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that if it's greater than 0, then keep the conveyor running. But if you wanted to make sure that you didn't have more than 4 on the conveyor, you could do a little bit of change on this program. You may want to make use of that limit instruction that we looked at before. So you'd have to change this guy right here. I'm not doing that. I'm just keeping track of the fact that once I have a pallet on there, then to turn on my conveyor motor. Okay, so we can see here that the OSR is very close to the ONS. It's essentially looking at that rising edge, right, or the transition from a 0 to a 1. Okay, let's bring that back to a 0. And now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the exit. So obviously as these pallets are coming through, they're going to get to the back end of the conveyor, and then we have a separate sensor. We have our exit sensor here, addressed to the next input bit. And as soon as that goes true and then false, then this will go true, right? The OSF only looks at the negative falling signal edge. So let's do that here with our sensor exit, right? So we're going to make that true. And you can see that the storage bit now set, but our output bit has not set because we're still at 4 here. Okay, now I'm going to transition from a 1 back to a 0, right? So this is a 1 right now. All right, you can see that by hovering over it. Okay, you can see that the value is 1 there. All right, so we have a value of 1. Once I move my mouse, you can't see it anymore. You can see that a value of 1 right there. And I'm going to make that go to a 0. So that negative signal edge will cause this output to go true. This will go true, which will count down my counter. And we should see that once this is no longer true, this value goes to 3. Beautiful, okay? Making the sensor exit true again. So now the pallet is now going by the sensor. And then at this back end here, when it transitions from a 1 back to a 0, we should go down to a count of 2. Okay, following through, we'll go down to a count of 1. And then at 0, we'll see that the conveyor motor stops running. Okay, so I'm doing that now, transitioning to a 1 and then back to a 0. That OSF is going to catch that negative falling signal, and our value here is going to go to 0, and then our conveyor will turn off. Beautiful. Anytime that a new pallet comes in, the sensor entry will be tripped, conveyor motor will be on, and then as that pallet exits the conveyor, then our sensor exit will go true, then false, our OSF will trip, it will count down that value, which will make our value at this point down to 0, and our conveyor should turn off there. Beautiful. Okay, so hopefully at this point, if you're just sticking around to see how the OSR and the OSF work, that gives you a pretty good example of how each of those instructions are looking at either for the OSR, the positive signal edge, the transition from a 0 to a 1, and the OSF looking at that transition from a 1 back to a 0. Okay, stick with me guys. I'm now going to build up this entire program in front of you so that you can know all the steps on creating the array, creating the counters, the move, and the greater than instruction there. So let me delete all this, and we'll have like a base PLC program that we can work from.